I love Star Crunch. Sponsor me. Okay. Hey girl. So I just wanted to come on here and just talk to you guys while I do my face. So I guess it's a chit chat, get ready with me. But just between us, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. It is 3 a.m. in the morning on Monday. That's Monday. And I just can't sleep. I have been dealing with insomnia for the last week or two, so I just thought I would come and do some content. Plus, I couldn't wait to try out my new backdrop. Don't judge me because it's not iron, it's a little wrinkles. That's okay, we're gonna work with it. And my new lighting, I got new lighting, y'all. So, my makeup about to be lit. So what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today was being a mommy. If you guys don't know, I am a mom to a beautiful little boy. His name is David, and he will be, well, he turned 10 months the 15th of August. But I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about my pregnancy and just the few months that I've been with my son, and let's get right into it. I am gonna be doing my makeup a little bit differently. So I was basically pregnant the whole year of 2015, which was fun. And we were really excited, and you know, I started taking my prenatals, I started going to my doctor's appointments, and everything was fine up into my glucose test. For months, there was no problems, and I took my glucose test, and they found out that I had gestational diabetes. If you know anything about diabetes, that means that it has to do with your insulin, and so my insulin was not at the level that they felt was safe. So what they did was they put me on a diabetic restricted diet. And if you've been pregnant before, you understand that that's like torture, because like breads and pastas and sweets, they were pretty much non-existent for me. And I'm a country girl. Like, we from the South. You mean I can't have no cornbread? Like, I can't have a roll? I can't have a biscuit? No, not a biscuit. I had an attitude, needless to say. Like, I had a complete and utter attitude about it. But, you know, whatever I had to do to make sure that my baby was okay. So, you know, the pregnancy progresses on, and there are no more issues. And I went in on my while I was 34 weeks. And we did a regular, just routine stress test. And at this time, like I said, if you guys don't know anything about pregnancy, at this time, once you get to your 3rd trimester, you go to the doctor every week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, every week, or at least I did. So we go to the doctor, and they take my blood pressure, and my blood pressure is through the roof. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know it was like 200 something over whatever. And I'll put what a normal blood pressure is supposed to be, and I'll actually read my files and find out what my blood pressure was. But basically, the reason why they want to watch your blood pressure and make sure that your blood pressure is fine, especially during your pregnancy, is because you can have a stroke. And I was giving them what the nurse said, and I quote, "You're giving us stroke numbers. And if you keep giving us stroke numbers, you're going to the hospital. That's it." So that was scary. So needless to say, they wanted to wait for a little bit and let me sit down and rest and relax. Maybe they thought that they might have gotten a bad reading, even though she did it twice with the manual. So they were like, well, we'll let you rest and do the stress test, and then we'll check it again. So we did the stress test, and I was in there for about 30 minutes, and I promise you I'm gonna try to keep it together, because that was a really that was a really scary time. And I had previously miscarried, so I was just really scared. I was really scared, and rightfully so. But I did it for about 30 minutes, and the doctor came in and checked the readings and realized that my son wasn't moving. He wasn't moving a lot. And so they figured that, well, maybe he's asleep. So now I have the gestational diabetes. I'm still dealing with that. I have to, and I was anemic, severely anemic. So they had me on iron pills. Now my blood pressure is through the roof, and my son is not moving like he should be. So they did a ultrasound to see what was going on. Well, first they did my blood pressure again, and it was still through the roof. And they were like, they already had sent the papers to my hospital, and they said, you were going to the hospital, but we need to check the baby first to see how everything is going. So we did the ultrasound, and I was informed that my son was a lot smaller than he should be at 34 weeks. And he was measuring, their exact words were, he's measuring kind of small for as far along as you are. I didn't know what that meant. Babies are small, period. So I didn't know what that meant. But from what they were saying and the tone that they were giving me, I knew that it wasn't good. And so once again, you have that fear, like, oh God, please, I don't want to lose my kid. Like, come on, Jesus, please. So I immediately began to pray. David was with me the whole way. I believe my mom had taken me to my doctor's appointment because David was at work. And how it happened was my mom actually had to go she had to go to work. And so it was taking a long time, and she was like, I don't want to leave you by yourself. So as it would have it, like I said, David had just started working or whatever, and he was doing training, and he was actually right up the street from my doctor's office, and they got out early. So he came to the doctor's office right when my mom had to leave. So going back to the sonogram, when they found out that my baby was, small, they went ahead and told us to go to Cape Fear, which is the hospital that I delivered my son in. So we get to the hospital, and mind you, I had gone to the hospital before because I had some spotting and some really bad discomfort, and it turned out to be nothing. So I was thinking along the lines of, oh, even though I wasn't really aware of the severity of the situation still, because they said he was kind of small, but I was like, well, and they were like, well, we could be wrong, we just need to send you to the hospital because your blood pressure is through the roof, and either way we need to get that down. So I still wasn't thinking anything crazy. So like I said, we get to the hospital, they check us in, and we sit in this room with other pregnant women who are, experiencing some difficulty during their pregnancy. So the doctor comes in, and they do yet another ultrasound and to measure the baby, and they see that my baby is about 4 pounds. I am 7 months, and my child is only 4 pounds. As a matter of fact, she said he wasn't even 4 pounds. He was barely 4 pounds. And I was heartbroken. I didn't know how to feel. I was heartbroken. I mean, to say the least. Like, what does that mean for my kid? Like, is he gonna be okay? And they told us that, you know what, we're not gonna send you home. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably be here for a week, and we'll give you some steroids. Best case scenario, you'll be here for a week, we'll give you some steroids, and you'll have your baby in a week. And so I was like, oh my God, a week in the hospital. So they take me out of I don't know what I want to say. What kind of area was that? They take me out of where the pregnant women were, and they put me in a labor and delivery room. You know those big, really nice rooms that they put you in when you're about to have your baby, and then when you do have your baby, they put you in the funky rooms. Is that just my experience? Okay. Um, but yeah, so they put us there, and you know, everybody's starting to come and you know check on us or whatever, you know, friends and family, you know, because they're like, oh, you know, the baby's coming, you know, and you know, just trying to keep my spirits up because obviously something is wrong, but they don't want to harp on that. So I'm contouring with dark cocoa if you guys want to know. But I'm sorry I keep saying I'm gonna try to edit all that out. But yeah, so we get to the labor and delivery room, and the doctor comes in after a while. Girl, look at it's I'm going through. Just pray for me. But the doctor comes in and she checks me and she says, okay, Ceira, we're gonna induce you. I looked over everything and we need to get this baby out because your heart rate is through the roof and his heart rate is going down, and it is getting to be a serious situation. So we are going to go ahead and get this baby out so that both mom and baby can be safe. I'm 7 months. Like, I'm not done yet. Like, in my head, I was like, I'm not done. And I had been documenting my pregnancy, like with pictures and, you know, little videos for myself. And, you know, when he becomes a year old so we can look back at him. So I'm like, I'm not finished baking yet. Like, he's not finished baking. What do you mean? So they give me the Pitocin. I think that's how you say it. The Pitocin to start trying to let me have the baby naturally. They wanted me to, you know, try and at least have the baby naturally. And they gave me some other medicine, and it was a lot of IVs. I had lines running from my arms. I had a catheter. It was just the most uncomfortable I had ever been in my entire life. I will not lie to you. And I hadn't even felt a contraction yet. Okay? Yet. Getting to that. So that night just waited for, you know, contractions, and that was later in the evening. So it was around 7 o'clock. It was around 7 o'clock on, I want to say 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. I want to say a Wednesday. Yes, it was a Wednesday because my friends were coming over, and I am a gladiator. If anybody knows Scandal, if anybody knows me, they know that Scandal is me and David's show, okay? Like, we watch it religiously. I can't wait for it to come back. But all my friends and family was like, you better have this baby before Scandal come on tomorrow because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. Like, you know, just trying to, like I said, lighten the mood. I had a really, thinking back on it, I had a really dope, you know, group of supportive people. It was just, it was really good. Like, I'm glad that I had them in my life, and I still have them in my life. But anyway, so that night I started to feel a little bit of discomfort. The only good thing I can really think of during that time is that I got to hear my baby's heartbeat like all night long, and it was, you know, it was nice to just hear him just in there, just, you know, because you know you're pregnant and you grow and you know there's a baby in there and you feel him move, but it's just like, I have concrete evidence. There's a heartbeat. Like, there's another human in me. It was really cool. So that night came and went, and they checked me that morning. No dilating. I wasn't dilated at all. At all. So they gave me a little bit more Pitocin. And they're like, okay, well, you know, we'll check you in another few hours. Cool. But you can't eat anything. Huh? What you mean I can't eat? You gonna take bread away from me? Now you taking everything away from me? I can't eat nothing? What? So, yeah, I couldn't eat. They come and check me again, 12 o'clock. Nothing. Come and check. Now, mind you, when they're checking, it's painful. That hurts, especially when you are not opening up. So it hurts. So I'm in pain every time the doctor comes. And of course, David hates to see me in pain. So he's like cringing every time the doctor comes in, and I just feel so bad for my baby. Like, he was going through it. He was going to work. He was coming from work to the hospital. Like, it was a lot. But it was worth it. It was worth it. I'll do it again. I promise you I would. But okay, so they check and I'm still not dilating. 6 o'clock, I'm not dilating. 7 o'clock, my mom's like, bulldog comes in and she's like, look, she's been at this for about 12 hours. And she's only been dilated. At that point, I was dilated 1 centimeter. And she was like, and the last time she pulled it out, it was a lot of blood. And so my mom said, look, y'all not gonna keep putting my baby through this. If you need to deliver the baby, deliver it. So they come in and they start to talk to me and David about what's gonna happen. So they decide to go ahead and give me a emergency C-section. So now let's go down the list. I have gestational diabetes. I am preeclamptic. So that is when your blood pressure is uncontrollable. Or eclamptic, I'm sorry. I was preeclamptic, but I was eclamptic. I am severely dehydrated and I am anemic. And on top, my baby is small. I've been at this for 2 days now, and I've only dilated 1 centimeter. And now, instead of pushing my child out, I am going to have an emergency C-section. Because they had given me the epidural and everything, because they were under the impression, as well as I was, that I was going to be pushing my child out. And I told them, go ahead and give me the drugs. Now listen, I know there are some pregnant women out there and they're just like, you should have went natural. I can't believe it. Girl, good night, okay? I needed that needle. They gave it to me. I was a happy camper because them contractions was hurting, okay? Okay. So I wasn't trying to hear all that. I'd already been through enough. I wasn't trying to hear all that. So yeah, go ahead and give me them drugs on deck. What that girl say on Baby Mama? Ooh, ooh. I love that movie. But anyway, I'm just all over the place. Sorry. But yeah, so they start to explain to me what's going to happen when they take the baby out, me and David. And this is the first time that I ever see David break. They started talking about how my baby was, because he was going to be pretty early, 6 weeks early, that he would probably be on a breathing tube, a feeding tube. And she just started saying tubes here, tubes this, tubes for this, tubes for that, tubes for this. And this was the worst case scenario. So they were just preparing us. And I just saw one single tear like come out of his eye. And I was just like, why? Like, why are we going through this? What did I started to blame myself. I was like, this is my fault. Obviously, something I did, and I had one thing in particular in my head that I had done, and I was like, this is my fault. This is what I get. Sorry. Let me pause this. Okay, I'm back. I had to finish my snack, y'all. So, yeah, so he's going to be on a lot of, he's going to be in the NICU, so he won't be coming home with me when I check out. If I check out, that's the way I was thinking, and that's kind of how they worded it. And also, he was going to be in a, you know, it wasn't going to be the normal scene of having a baby. Or, I won't say normal, typical. It wasn't going to be typical. So, yeah, that was really painful. And it just wore on me really, really bad. And I felt helpless. Just helpless. but not hopeless. Oh, hallelujah. But yeah, so they get me prepared, and this is where the story gets really foggy for me, because I was under so much medication, epidural, Pertussin, other things, so many IVs running through me. I was so bloated. I'll post a couple of pictures of me in the hospital, and you guys can get a feel for how bloated I was, because understand, like, during my pregnancy I didn't gain weight, I lost it, because I was on a special diet, and I was, you know, I lost the weight because I was really sick. Like, before anything started happening, I had really bad morning sickness, so I couldn't eat anything. Or could barely eat anything. Yeah, so I can't really remember exactly how everything went, but I do remember getting into an argument with the epidural lady. Because of course I just had to be difficult, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they wheel us back or whatever, they get us prepped, and I don't remember any of that. I remember I see pictures of me like in the surgery gown and the little hair doohickey, but I don't remember that. So they take us back, and they let us know that we won't be able to hold the baby, that he will be immediately rushed to the NICU. And so yeah, so then they start to cut on me. Okay, this is why I got into an argument with the lady, because I know I'm under a lot of medicine, but I can tell when someone is cutting me, okay? So what they do is they give you a little bit of general anesthesia. Is that how you say it? Yeah, anesthesia. And they're like, can you feel that? And so she began to cut, and I heard her say, okay, I'm making an incision. And I'm like, oh wait, I can feel that. And she's like, honey, are you sure you can feel that? I don't think you can feel that. No, you can't feel it. Nobody's cutting you. And I'm like, yeah, she just cut me. And she's like, no, they didn't. And I'm like, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm literally laying like this, and like I'm tilted down, and the lady's right here, and there's a sheet up, and I'm like, I know what I'm feeling. I know what I'm feeling. And the lady was so shady, because instead of like just taking me for what I was saying, she just nicely just put the rest of that anesthesia on, and I went to sleep. Like, when I woke up, I was in a whole nother room. Like, baby had already been pulled out and everything. And I remember David like cracking up, and he was like, baby, stop. Like, he just kept saying, stop. He was like arguing with the lady, stop. And I was like, I know what I'm feeling. I know what I'm feeling. She's cutting me. I know what I'm feeling. I was so difficult. I'm a difficult human being, man. Like, for real, I am. So yeah, so once they, by the way, they also told me that once I had the baby, that I would no longer be preeclamptic. I wouldn't have to worry about my blood pressure, and I'll probably be released in a couple of days. When I woke up, I remember feeling really groggy and feeling like I needed to go back to sleep. And I looked up, I was by myself, and I looked up, and I saw the monitor, and I saw my heart, my blood pressure, and it was still 200. It was 209 over like 117. And I was like, I just remember saying no. Like, because I wanted to go to sleep so bad. I was like, no, God, please, no. And I was looking for my baby. I was looking for David, and nobody was there. Nobody was there because I was in recovery, and they couldn't let anyone back at that moment. But somehow my niece got through, and my niece got through, Ashley, and I saw her, and she actually made me feel so much better. She was like, hi, I saw the baby, da, da, da. And so I was like, oh, he's okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, because no one had come in here and said anything. So I was like, oh my God, he's okay. You know, like, that was a weight lifted off of me. And I just I think I just dozed back off. And when I woke up, I was in my room, the labor and delivery room. And they came and told me, your blood pressure is not going back down, so we're going to have to give you medicine to see if we can get it down, because we can't release you from the hospital. We can't let you even go down to the NICU. You can't leave this bed until your blood pressure goes down. I can't see my baby. Like, after all that, I can't see my kid. Like, really? Like, seriously? I can't see my baby? Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see my kid for 72 hours. I didn't see him for 3 days. I mean, I saw pictures. David was really good at bringing pictures and video up. A lot of people were, showing me pictures and stuff, but honestly, I didn't want anyone showing me any more pictures. I wanted to see my son for myself. And I was just so hurt. Sorry. Luckily, thankfully, this story has a happy ending. So the way that it happened was my blood pressure finally went down. Well, no, the way it happened was after a couple of days, I was finally able to eat. No, after a couple of days, they finally, said, we're going to have to switch you out of this room. So I had to get up with my stitches, and I hadn't walked in a while. So they were like, it's going to be a little hard for you to walk, because they gave me a medicine that started with an M to like lower my blood pressure. But because it lowered my blood pressure, it like made me really, everything felt super heavy. I felt super heavy. So when I when I stepped down to like get into the wheelchair for them to wheel me down to another room, or my new room, I was like, yo, and it was really painful. Not painful, sore. It was really sore because they had given me anesthesia. So I really couldn't, it hadn't wore off yet. And so it was really kind of sore, and I just knew something had happened, but like it wasn't like excruciating pain. Does that make sense? That comes. So I'm gonna do something really simple, guys.
Okay guys, this is probably the perfect time to go ahead and stop this video. However, the story is not finished. The conclusion will be uploaded right after this one. Go ahead and like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to share. And in the meantime, in between time, go ahead and visit my channel and look at the rest of the videos that I have uploaded recently. One is a Riri VMA's look, and the other is a cut crease that I recreated. And thank you so much for watching.